Hello everybody and welcome back to the Coasters in Perspective YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going on a topic a little bit different from other of my videos. Today we're going to be talking about Iron Gwazi. But before we talk about Iron Gwazi, we're going to have to talk about Steel Vengeance. Ever since Steel Vengeance opened in 2018, it has been heavily regarded as one of the best roller coasters in the world, if not the best roller coaster. It has gotten much praise for its multiple airtime moments and long duration, and it is praised for having the most airtime in the world, according to many roller coaster enthusiasts. This thing looks long as hell, even though I haven't even ridden it yet, it does look to be that it will top my list on coasters. Although, there's one other roller coaster I think looks to be better, and this will be a controversial opinion. And this roller coaster hasn't even opened yet, and some of you may not even know what I'm talking about, but you will in just a second. Yes, the coaster I'm talking about that looks to be, or has a better layout than Steel Vengeance, and in my opinion, is Iron Gwazi. Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa looks to have a masterful layout which uses its elements to perfection, especially with that amazing 91-degree first drop and amazing outer bank turn, and looks to have some of the most crazy inversions on Earth. The highlights of the ride for me look to be that death roll and that massive outer bank turn at the beginning of the ride, but I'll go into more of that later. But now, I'm just going to talk about Steel Vengeance a bit more. Though I have not ridden Steel Vengeance, it looks to be an amazing ride, utilizing inversions and airtime moments. But you may be asking your head, why would I think Steel Vengeance looks to be worse than Iron Gwazi? And the key word in this is worse, as I don't think Steel Vengeance is worse than anything. I think this ride is amazing, and I think it's not worse, it's just not as good. That's how I like to phrase it. Though Steel Vengeance has a masterful layout, I just feel like Iron Gwazi has a bit more uniqueness to its layout as a whole, as Steel Vengeance mostly just focuses on airtime, whereas Iron Gwazi focuses on airtime and inversions and crushing positive G's, as you see in that massive bank. Now, I'm mostly judging this off of Steel Vengeance's second half, as the first half is fairly unique, which is massive outer bank turn and really good inversions. But in the second half, it's pretty much just airtime hill after airtime hill after airtime hill, with the occasional inversion mixed in. Here is the sequence of elements on Steel Vengeance: airtime, 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 inversion, airtime, inversion, airtime, airtime. Then, after the mid-course brake run, it's pretty much airtime, 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 inversion, airtime, 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 inversion. Then it finishes the course with a bunch of just small little ejector bunny hills. Which I'm not saying any of this is bad, as I would take small ejector pops over any slow and boring third half like on Wicked Cyclone. But there's one thing different with Iron Gwazi, is that it only has two halves, whether Steel Vengeance has three. This means that Iron Gwazi completely rips through its layout, and so does Steel Vengeance, but Iron Gwazi, since it only has two halves, puts in a lot more uniqueness into its ride. Whether in the third half of Steel Vengeance, they don't really have anything else to do but include bunny hill after bunny hill. Now that is one of the few cons of Steel Vengeance. Other than that, it looks to be an amazing ride, and though I don't dislike ejector pops, which I currently think they're my favorite part of airtime, though I just think it doesn't have any more of its own character, Steel Vengeance. Now, let's begin to talk more about Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay has a very imposing look to it, with its steel structure, and that's unique in its own sense. Now, let's talk about the secrets of elements on Iron Gwazi. First, you have that amazing 91-degree first drop, which looks to be absolutely insane and decently sustained. Then, you start off with drop, airtime with that outer bank turn, and then you have one of the most insane inversions you will ever experience, the hell roll, or the death roll. I'm not really sure what people are calling it anymore. I'm not sure if Kumba's 0G roll is the hell roll or the death roll, or Kumba's that giant giant downwards railroad is the death roll or hell roll. I'm not sure, but I digress. Then you go, I'm just going to call it the death roll. Then you go into the death roll, and then into what looks to be a bone-crushing positive G-force filled overbank. Then you go into another airtime moment into that wave turn. Currently, it has been airtime, well, drop, airtime, inversion, positive G's, airtime. Then you go into a 0G stall, which will provide some hang time, which is very unique for an RMC in its sense. Although I'm guessing this inversion will be similar to the ones in Goliath and Zadra at Energylandia. I'm just assuming they will have the same sensation, though both of them look to be amazing. Now, this is why I really do think Iron Gwazi looks to have the better layout, at least, than Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. There is nothing wrong with either of these rides, and I think they're far from anything wrong. I don't think one is worse than the other. I think they will definitely be a very strong duo between them two, and a very strong duel between them two, as you will definitely hear a lot of people comparing these two. But it is hard to compare Iron Gwazi to Steel Vengeance, as Steel Vengeance focuses severely on airtime, while Iron Gwazi focuses on more unique elements and more unique inversions, and having more of a better fit in the park. And I think Iron Gwazi has a better fit in the park than Steel Vengeance. Before this, BGT didn't really have any or Busch Gardens Tampa didn't really have any elite rides. Whether Matsu and Kuba, yes, are elite roller coasters, they aren't elite, something to stand out in the park to make coaster enthusiasts want to go there just for that. And yes, some coaster enthusiasts would love to go to BGT just for Matsu, but they aren't crawling to get there. Now with Iron Gwazi, this is more of a must-do attraction in the Florida area and in the world, as it looks to be probably one of the best roller coasters to ever exist, and since it hasn't opened yet, the hype has died down many times before. Now, I'm not going to go into why it hasn't opened yet, but I'm just going to say, I'm only going to say one thing on it, is that I'm definitely sure that SeaWorld and Busch Gardens has a plan for this attraction, and they are planning to open it in the best time possible. That is what I am going to say on this topic. Other than that, Busch Gardens Tampa is an amazing park, and I'm kind of a Busch Gardens fanboy. Maybe that's why I'm making this video, and some might not agree with this video. But other than that, that is why I think Iron Gwazi looks to be better than Steel Vengeance. Now, you may be saying, why are you judging off of two coasters that you haven't even ridden yet? And maybe that's not a bad thing, but for me, I think it's fun to do this. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.